Hey everybody, it's February 8th. This is Thurman. Fredericksburg, Virginia, 65 degrees, sometime in the afternoon, didn't check. Bees are out flying, cleaning, doing what they're supposed to do. You can see all the dead that they've cleaned out. Cleaned out their dead, doing what they're supposed to be doing. Gotta love these bees. Only got the 3 hives in the front right now. Number 4, it was a dead out early on. Looking really good. My hives in the back are doing the same. Over at my buddy's house, they're doing the same. I've got one hive that's in the back. Not too sure about it. Took a look at it yesterday. We had 55-degree weather then, and I didn't want to open it up in case it incited robbing. Can't have that. Didn't look like any bees were coming out of the front. So what I'm going to take you to right now is I'm taking it in my back. I've been making some new boxes, some nuke boxes, and some well, I don't know how to call it, triple space deep hive increase boxes. Just painted them today. I've got good weather coming up, so I'm going to show you what I did here. So take a look at this. So I've used the new True Coat 360 DS with the squeezable bag. No air compressor needed. Worked really good. Put a beautiful coat on my boxes. So let me show you what I've made here. So instead of making a bunch of nuke boxes, I had ordered 50 deeps, and I'm still building them, using my greenhouse at the moment to take care of everything. But you see, what I did is I went ahead and I made doubles with an entrance on each end. So there's one entrance on this end, and then there's one entrance on that end. And I made bottoms, which is just a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, and I took a 2x4 and I cut it down. I just buy the best 2x4s that Lowe's has, and I cut everything down to my own sizes. You know, that way I'm saving money by just making my own stuff. It takes time, but I got time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double nuke boxes. Gives me 14 that I can put swarms and whatnot in. Now, these are the ones that I really like. These are the ones that I'm interested in. These are my triple increase hive boxes. I read Increase Essentials. I'm still reading it, trying to wrap my brain around some of this, but basically this is how it goes. Okay, and instead of making single increase nuke boxes that held 3 frames, I took one box and I split it into 3 sections so that it would hold 3 frames each. The dividers come all the way up to the top, just like they do on the doubles. The bees cannot go from one to the other. So here I've got an entrance on this side leading to the 3 frames on this one, an entrance on this side leading to the 3 frames on this one, and an entrance on the back side leading to the 3 frames in the middle. I put a ventilation hole in the same spot on all sides. Well, I put it underneath of the handhold in the middle one, and then the other ones, they're a little bit higher. They're just up higher. Not that it matters, it really doesn't, but they do have ventilation holes. So the idea of this, and I really like this, is that now these won't be down as far when the frames are on them. Okay, so the idea is that I have a colony in each one of these boxes. Let me stick this up on my head real fast. So I have a colony in each one of these boxes. My queen is constantly working, okay? So she's constantly working. She fills a frame up with brood. When I've got all this brood on here, I can gently shake the bees off. I can take this frame and I can put an empty one back in here for her to fill up. Now I take this frame that's got the all the brood in it, so it could be 5,000 to 7,000 new babies. I take that over to one of my production hives. Let's say one of these that was a full box, and I stick it in here. Now my production hives are filling out twice as fast as they normally would with just the one queen. So it's like having 2 queens in one big production hive, one big box. I keep these girls going the way they're going. Queen, queen, queen. I take a frame, you know, that frame's got a lot of sealed brood on it. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to stick another one in. I'm going to put this over in a production box someplace, and I'm going to let her fill this one out. And I do the same thing for every one of these. And as you see, I've made 5 boxes, so I can get 15 different production hives going. Once I've got them going, I can take a frame out of each one of these. So every couple of days, I come back in and I pull the frame. I give her a new frame. Okay? So, what's nice about this isn't just that I'm giving extra brood to my production boxes. This also serves as a queen bank. So let's just say that a queen in one of my production hives gets old, I realize that they're just not producing anymore and they need a new queen. Well, I know that the queens that I have inside of my small 3-frame increase colonies have queens that are working just fine. So all I got to do is just take all 3 of these frames. I can pull them out, or I can just take the queen out of this. I can take the queen, I can introduce her into the production hive that's having a problem. That way they've got a new queen, and I'm left with 3 frames over here. But if you remember, I still got a queen on each side holding a colony. Well, I don't think they're going to fight too much. So really, all I have to do is just pull out a divider, and now this queen has 6 frames to work with. So she's still doing her job, okay? But she has extra frames to work with. And now when she's filling these things up, I can either take a frame, or I can just leave her alone, and I can let her have the 6 frames and act like a 6-frame nucleus hive that is just going to build itself up. So this idea also works that come summertime, when I'm done with the main flow, the main spring flow is over with, I'm starting to go into a dearth, you know, where there's not as much food going around, the queens have slowed down their production. This is the perfect time for me to make new production hives. So all I need to do now is I can take every 3 frames that I've got, and I can stick them over in boxes like this, and put 5 frames in there, and I can let them overwinter here. Or I can simply take one of my frames out of this. I've already taken the 3 frames with the bees out of this. I've opened this up. I put 3 new frames in there, and I just let this queen have this section. Okay? So I take those 3 frames that I've taken out of this section, and I put them over in a different box, and I let them fill out the year. They can go into winter. The one that's sitting over here by itself on the 3 is another one that I will also take out. So the idea here is that every year I can produce myself with 3 new frames, or 3-frame increase hives. I can build up my hives. Come summertime, I can take all of these and then I can let them go, and they can go into winter on their own, overwintering as a 5 or 6-frame nucleus hive, and then come next spring, I fill these boxes back up and I start all over again. So if everything works and I don't have to take a queen out to replace it, I could potentially get 15 new colonies every year with this. I'm going to do a little quick ad on the end of this. I didn't show you guys the inside of one of these boxes. As you can see, how I built my boxes. All I did was I take the wood that I cut and I made my outside. I was able to make all 5 boxes, all the wood out of all 5 boxes, out of one piece of 2x4 that's 8 foot long. Gives you a better idea. So my entrance is here and here. I put my dividers in the same spot that I have these dividers. Okay. Now, when I make these to sell, this piece right here will be one piece of wood. It won't be me just using whatever I've got to put in there. Okay. So that's how the bottom's done. Bye. So I hope this helps you guys. Go out there, and if you want a way to increase the production of your hives, if you want a way to just increase your hives, you know, altogether on your own, this is a really good way of doing it. Now, you may ask, where am I getting the queens for these hives? Well, there's a couple of ways to go about that too. You can buy the queens, and that's fine. If you find yourself a good dealer, you like the stock that they have, go ahead, buy your queens. But if you look inside of your hives, especially in springtime when all of your production hives are trying to get ready to swarm and you start doing your swarm management, all you got to do is just take those queen cells out of there. Or you can raise your own queens. Something else I'm going to be getting into this year, I've got the boxes now, and we're going to do that. Okay, so you guys should do that. So let me show you real fast. I'm going to take you in here to my greenhouse. So you can see in my greenhouse, I'm building kind of a mess in here. I don't have any plants going at the moment, but you can see I've got boxes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Looks like 16 boxes that are built already. I'm set up to build a whole bunch more, as you can see, and I'm constantly working on boxes and, you know, frames and everything else. Oh, one of the things that I should add is that when you make these increased colonies, like I'm doing back here, make sure that you have drawn comb. Now, I had a dead out this year, and so that gave me 20 frames of drawn comb that I can put inside of my nucleus hives. So that way, when I introduce queens, or when I introduce queen cells, then they don't have as much, they don't have to wait on babies, you know, to grow up, to make, you know, their own cells. As soon as she's made it, she can start laying immediately. So while I may have lost one of my hives, and possibly 2 hives, I don't look at it as really a bad thing. I look at it as a chance to have some good drawn comb. So I've got 30 frames of drawn comb this year that I'm going to be adding to all these boxes. I'm going to be using inside of my swarm when I go to collect them, and when I go to, you know, do cutouts at people's houses and all. So yeah, it's all going to work out. Okay, so I also want to tell everybody that I've got a new website to go with my new business, and it's burnleyfarmapiary.com. You guys should head on out there and take a look at it. And there's a lot of good links in there, you know, pictures in there. I'm going to start putting more of my videos in there. I've got some videos of other people who have done really good things on YouTube to explain some stuff. And I'll be selling things later on. And there's a link to my YouTube channel. So, burnleyfarmapiary.com. Okay, so let me sign off now, and I'll try to do a new sign off. So this is Thurman Burnley at burnleyfarmapiary.com. Y'all take care now.